This is Brother Jamal coming to you again here on here this afternoon. I want to bring you this video and give you a little bit of information. Our motto here is we communicate to educate and organize, and truth is the wealth of freedom. Once again, our motto is here is truth is the wealth of freedom, and we communicate to educate and organize. Um, we're going to, as we have been saying to you and repeating to you, we're going to be um, coming out with a book soon, inshallah, on KUCB, Urban Community Broadcasting Station, radio station KUCB. We had a nonprofit, non-commercial education radio station here in Des Moines now for about 20 years. And I had the pleasure of being a board member, had the pleasure of being a DJ and talk show host for about 20 years. And so we are going to be coming out with a real, um, real nice book, Last Man Standing, and where we really tell the truth about really what happened to radio station KUCB from the inside, not from the outside in, but from the inside out. And so, inshallah, we'll let you know. We'll be doing some things and activities around that probably as we approach that time. But we're still working on some things now. So, inshallah, we'll keep you informed and let you know about that. I'm sure by now you've got the news about the murder of our young brother in at the all-white college in Mississippi, Delta College in Mississippi, all-white university, I guess there. Um, and one of the things that the media is quick to say when it's the death of a black man, it could be a black woman, child, boy, or girl. The first thing they usually run to is suicide. It's the first thing they usually run to. And in the case of this young brother's last name was Reed, Trey Reed, I think, 21 years of age, black student, went to this all-white school in Mississippi. We now know from the autopsy, the second autopsy, that he was murdered. We now know that fact. Um, we also heard too that both his legs were broke and his arm was broke, which means that they probably beat him. And no telling, they might have tortured him, no telling what else they did, and then hung him. But we now know it was murder of the young brother in at Delta University in Mississippi. Trey Reed was his last name, I think Reed. So we now know it's murder. Um, the other thing is too, this person, this man, who is the director of the FBI. He's from another country. I think he's from India. Uh, Director of the FBI. Now, before this guy came to be the FBI under this administration, I guess he was appointed. They had a director of the FBI by the name of Gary Hoover in the past. This is back during the 40s, the 50s, 60s, way before this man probably was even born, the one that's over the FBI now, the director of the FBI now. We had a monster by the name of Gary Hoover, who was over the FBI in the past. And they set a program into motion called the Counterintelligence, COINTEL program. It was mainly to target the black activists, black leadership, and the Black Panther Party, the Black Liberation Army, any groups that was opposed to this government at that time, because it was oppression from the government during that time. We're talking about the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, all the way up to the 70s. And we had a director of the FBI called Gary Hoover at that time. And so this individual that's the director of FBI now 2025, he had the nerve to say to the people that they shouldn't be celebrating and commemorating Assata Shakur. And the message I would have for him is that, first of all, you don't know the struggle that black people have been through in this country. So for you to open your mouth and speak, you need to sit down somewhere and shut up because you don't know what you're talking about. You just became director of the FBI under this white supremacist administration that you are involved with. You just became the director. So you really don't know what you're talking about. And the sister, we can celebrate her anytime we want to. We don't have to get permission from you or anyone else to celebrate our sister. Our sister, Assata Shakur, who was a member of the Black Panther Party, who was a member of the Black Liberation Army, the BLA. And she passed away in Cuba. And we're so thankful to Allah that she got a chance to live her life out in Cuba. Fidel Castro at the time, who was the president there, would not allow the gang members here in this country to go get her. They had a $2 million bounty on her and the Cuban people, and we thank them for protecting her. Also, she got to live out the rest of her life there, and she passed away there. So they weren't able to succeed in getting her like they wanted to. See, this is what they wanted to capture her, bring her back here, probably humiliate her, probably try to get her the death penalty, everything else. But we thank Allah for allowing her to live out the rest of her life in Cuba in peace. And see, one of the things that would happen, this is history. I can talk about this because I lived during that period. Some people run their mouth and be speaking and talking about things they don't have no knowledge about. If you weren't born around the 40s and the 50s and the 60s, you don't know the struggle. You have no idea. And you don't have no even grounds to open your mouth and speak. You have no idea about the struggle for freedom and justice and liberation and equality that black people went through in this country. You have no idea. See, even some black people don't know. Sometimes they get on these shows that I see on YouTube and different shows and running their mouth, talking about stuff, giving out incorrect information, have no knowledge of what they're talking about. The struggle. That's what I'm talking about. And so our sister, who was a freedom fighter, who was in the Black Panther Party, who was with the BLA, the Black Liberation Army, see, and did so much good work in the New Jersey area, and being a member of the Black Panther Party. This lie that they came up with, trying to say that she shot a state trooper in New Jersey, it was nothing but a bald-faced lie. That's what it was. They concocted all of that, and it's nothing but a lie. That's all it was, trying to frame her because she was so powerful in her leadership and being a spokesperson. And when you listen to her speeches and see how she analyzed and broke down this oppressive system, how she broke down the colonizers and talked about and expounded upon that. See, that's what made her so powerful. Her sisters like her, sisters like Kathleen Cleaver, Elaine Brown, Angela Davis, Assata Shakur, see, a long list of sisters that was involved in the struggle against this oppressive regime that we live up under today. Still today, see, we live up under this dictator that's in the White House. Same thing. And let me say to the director of the FBI now, the one that's in there now. I heard that you were from India, and so I'm sure you have the way they oppress the people, the brothers and sisters in India. I'm sure they oppress them the same way that the black people are oppressed in this country. I'm sure they do the same thing in your country. See, and so all of a sudden you come here and you become the director of the FBI, and you got the nerve to be trying to speak about black people in our condition and in our struggle. See, and fighting for against injustice and freedom. Yes, this is no time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back against the injustice that's going on. When you see all of these National Guards that's going in the black community, and I said this earlier today when I did a video live on Facebook. I said earlier today, in 1968, when they murdered Dr. King, the National Guards went into the black community because the riots they were lit. They were lit up. The riots were lit up in 1968 after Dr. King was murdered. See, and who did they send? They sent the National Guards into the black community. That's what they did in 1968, like you see today time. See, today's time, this is more like to oppress the black community, oppress the black people, and to establish martial law. See, I'm sure we've heard about cases where they have been harassing black people, harassing them in the community. And people need to be careful about being all friendly and casual with them. Because when they come to your house and knock on your door, I'm sure you ain't going to be all friendly and casual with them. And we ought to be careful about letting these people in our house. If they don't have a search warrant and you can't see it and need to read it, then you should not be so quick just to jump up and open your door, tell them to come on in, you ain't got nothing to hide. Stop doing that. Same thing if you're in a car. You're being so quick to jump out your car and tell them to search your car, you ain't got nothing to have, nothing to hide. When you do those kind of things, you actually giving up some of your rights. That's what you're doing. Because whatever they find in your car, whatever they find in your house, they can use it against you when they take you to court, or when you go to court, they can use it against you. So stop being so quick to jump up and say, well, you can search my car and I ain't got nothing to hide. Or you can come in my house and I ain't got. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. See? You're giving up some of your rights when you do that. The other thing is, too, when they declare martial law, that means that you won't be able to go out, sit outside. You won't be able to sit outside and drink and smoke. Whatever you want to do, just hang out outside. Um, they will establish a curfew. This is the other thing that goes along with martial law. They will establish a curfew. And I want to say to black people, whatever city, whatever location you are in, anytime they have any workshops, any programs where they are talking about the National Guard, they're talking about the oppressive regime that's in the community, you ought to try to attend those meetings, those sessions. If they have any programs where they're teaching people to knowing your rights, make sure that you go to those kind of information informal meetings, any town hall meetings. All that's important that you attend those and try to keep up with the news to see what's going on. That's so important, to see what's going on. In Houston, Texas, I think the body count is now like up to 13 bodies they have found in Houston, Texas. Um, they're trying to keep it quiet. Um, People are already saying that it's a serial killer or it could be some white supremacist group of white supremacists that's doing the murdering of black men, women, boys, and girls in Houston, Texas. And what we know at this point, the body count is like 13. You know, that's serious, y'all. And you have to ask yourself the question, if we're not paying attention and being aware of our surroundings and what's going on at this particular time, then I don't know what to tell you if you're not aware, if you're not watching what's going on. I'm going to say it once again. If you're one of those people who like the girls or boys, men or women, who like to turn up, hang out at nighttime, be out, be riding around, driving around, then all I can say is you better be wide awake, wide alert, because the time once the sun goes down, That's the time that the devil is in his movement, in his action. Once the sun goes down and it gets dark outside, this is the devil's playground. So I want to, I just want to say to anyone out there who think it's cool to turn up, be riding around, hanging out, um, hanging out somewhere, partying, clubbing, whatever, and you get yourself out somewhere. See, you never know what kind of state of mind or condition you may be in when you come out of that spot where you're going to turn up at, where you're hanging out, going to a party, drinking, whatever, getting high. Because if your mind is not functioning right, you set yourself up for anything to happen to you. You can be snatched up, you can be grabbed, you can just vanish, just disappear. See? And I want to say to the women out there, if you don't have to be out at nighttime, just some advice. It would be good not to be out if you don't have to be out at night. It would be a good thing not to. Any young people, if you don't have to be out at night, try not to be out at night. If you're out at night riding around, hanging out, turning up different places, getting high, smoking, drinking, your chances for being snatched up, somebody kidnapping you, somebody abducting you, your chances is high if you're in that state of mind. I don't care where you at. You can be in a big town, big city, small town, country, wherever. It's things that are going on all across the country. And black people have become the target. See, that's the real deal. Black people have become the target. So I'm saying once again, we need to think safety. We need to be safe. See, it's no accident that we see so many black women, black girls disappearing all across the country, disappearing. See, we having a lots of black truck drivers who they are finding out not no suicide. This is the lie they always tell in the media. They're being murdered. See, straight up murder. Nothing to do with suicide. That's what they want you to think. That's what they want us to think. This is straight out murder, either by the white supremacist groups or somebody have decided to go around and murder black women and black girls, black men, black boys, black child, same thing. See? And if we're not woke by now and realize what's going on, then we're in bad shape. Like I said, our problem is we're not organized and we don't have any unity. That's our problem, see. And the enemy, Satan, the devil, these white supremacist groups, they know this. The other thing I want to say to the black men out there, anytime you hear about, you see these white supremacist groups turning up in the black community or trying to march through the black community, you ought to be out to stop them. See? Anytime, I don't care where it's at. They have no right, no reason to be marching, walking through the black community, coming nowhere near the black community, because you know what that means. It's going to be trouble. And I'm saying to brothers, instead of y'all marching and doing all that singing, see, you ought to be marching. You ain't even got to march. Just show up where you hear. If you hear about them, you get wind of them coming anywhere near the black community. I don't care where you at. Then you need the black men need to be out there, not the women, not the kids. Black men need to be out there because it's happening. You see all indication where these people are building secret tunnels, building secret bunkers, secret locations. What do you think they're doing that for? See, just for some activity or some special day or time? No, they're building it because in case something break out, that they're gonna have somewhere to escape and to go to. We don't never think about that. See, our thing is, first of all, we don't believe it will happen because we're in the United States. And then we wait to the last minute, and the last minute in this case is too late. Last but not least, every black family member should be going to the gun range to learn how to use a gun. From mom, dad, grandpa, grandma, aunt, uncles, kids, boys, girls, everybody need to be going to the gun range to learn how to use a gun. So you can go purchase you one. You can either carry it or you have it licensed to have it in your car, have it in your home. But every black person needs to have that. See, Malcolm used to say, in cases where the government, the authorities are not able, not willing to protect us, then we have a right. We have a sworn right to protect ourselves. See, we have a sworn right to protect ourselves. And so, um, inshallah, we may come back this evening later on and do another video. As I said, continue to say, there's so much going on, so much happening. That's why we increase the videos, we increase the message. See, and the message is, it's no time to be afraid. It's time to stand up and stay ready. We have to stand up, stay ready, and not be afraid. This is no time to be afraid. No time to be afraid. See? Once again, you've been listening to Brother Jamal. Our motto here is, we communicate to educate and organize, and truth is the wealth of freedom. Truth is the wealth of freedom. We communicate to educate and organize.